Hi there, I'm Salim. I'm the author of Exponential Organizations, which thinks about creating organizations for today's world that can scale rapidly as technology scales. We interact a lot with global thinkers, and it's clear from a couple of weeks ago that every conference is going to be canceled and every major event is going to be canceled over the next few months. And we had a thought that we can either stay huddled up in homes worrying about what's on the grocery shelves tomorrow, or we can take advantage of the fact that we're all stuck at home and have a conversation about restructuring the world. It's clear to us that we have major challenges in front of us, that our institutions that we use to run the world today don't work for the world that is coming. We're having enormous trouble just dealing with COVID-19, but we have exponential debt, we have climate change, we have all sorts of other issues that we're not able to deal with. And our institutions of the world that we, as we have it today, can't deal with. And so what we want to do is have a conversation about that. We're inviting up to 100,000 people online for an event called ExO World, happening 14th to 16th of April, in partnership with Singularity University, X Prize, Vortex, High Vibe Network, Rocker, and a number of other partners. And what we want to do is bring together the world's leading thinkers and talk about a few things. First, what are the major challenges facing us? And you can see some of those listed here, whether it's education and learning, planetary health and wellness and the environment, the future of the economy and prosperity, and so on. Secondly, what are the tools for transformation? We now have very good tools for transforming people, organizations, where we've learned how to solve what we call the immune system problem. When you try anything disruptive, the antibodies attack you. We can now solve that problem. We have techniques to solve institutional change. And really, it's going to take an army and a global army. And we want to create that global collective. Very clearly today, what happens to one happens to all. And we need to have that conversation globally. We kind of have two paths in front of us today. Either we have a Mad Max path, where it's every man for himself and we're fighting over what we think are scarce resources, or we have a Star Trek future. And today, obviously, our politicians and the current inability to deal with some of our problems is heading us down a Mad Max path. And the conversation we want to have is, what are the institutions that have us flip around to a more of a Star Trek future? Just for an example, we're going to have energy abundance in the next few years. Well, that affords amazing capabilities around these different areas. So we want to have these 3-day conversations with global thinkers, and then a number of breakout sessions where people can break out into their local languages, institutions, partner organizations, and have the conversation at that local level as to what they plan to do, and start a zeitgeist of thinking about this new world. One of our colleagues said, you're like the Bretton Woods of the 21st century, and we really aspire to be that level of framing. The institutions for the 21st century are what we want to have instigated here. At a difficult time, the phoenix can rise out of the ashes, and we have that opportunity. An exoskeleton amplifies the body's capabilities. ExO World is aiming to be an intellectual scaffolding to amplify the world in a difficult time. So hope to see you there.